How y'all doing? It's me, Judge Lynn. Before we do anything else, Tia, I think she calls herself the something whisperer, and I can't remember, and a couple other people has shown me this nonsense, this nonsense, and this nonsense. AI trying to, people using AI to try to trick you, to try to scam you. They did it with me. Scammed me out of my Facebook page. I just was happily giving away my stuff. I, you know, I'm not doing any of that. And I don't, I got three books. I only got one of them up there. So, three books that I sell. Making Marriage Work, My Mother's Rules, and I don't have any contests going. I don't have any giveaways going. And if I'd have a giveaway going, I wouldn't ask you for money to give away because then that's not a giveaway. So I'm not doing that. And it's just frustrating. And I know for you, but I just, and I can't keep up with them all. Um, because there's just new ones. Anybody can do it at any time, at any place. But one thing I want to show you. Just one thing. This one. You see this? Height 6'2". Weight 228. Man, I've been chubby in my day, but no, 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 no. Look at the details. Isn't that awful? People just doing that. It's terrible. The weather is clearing up a little bit in my head, even though I've got some ups. It's cleared up a little bit. And I wanted to answer a question. I want to answer two. Don't know if I can get to two, but uh, the other day I made a very good meal. Ain't got nothing to do with nothing. I just wanted you to know. Don't happen very often, but I did. Chicken, corn, my own kind of garnish with jalapeno and garlic and tomato and onion. And then I had coleslaw. And then I had Asian cucumbers. You slice them up and put some ponzu. Well, anyway, you kind of crazy if you take food advice from me. I'm just telling you about what I did, but I shouldn't tell you what I did because it's such a rare thing. But like I always say, I only poisoned the family one time. One time. Kids were in elementary school. We all got sick. Everybody but Eric. Cast iron stomach. But anyway, got this note. Good afternoon. Hope everything is well. I'm 25 years old. Uh, I'm very determined in my goals academically and professionally. I can finish a work task with flying colors and complete academic work with ease, but I can't get myself to achieve things I want to do. Now that's not now. Now that's interesting because academic work was easy for me as well. You got an assignment and you got to do it, and you got the work to do, and you got a due date. So let's just keep that in the back of our brains while we read the rest of this question. Uh, but I can't get myself to achieve things I want to do. For example, at the beginning of this year, I started taking online courses for my bachelor's degree, and I was able to complete over 15 courses within 6 months. A very distinct task with distinct requirements and a distinct deadline. Very good. I'm just about 43% complete, but my struggle with weight loss has been a 9-year uphill battle. Although I know what to do and how to achieve my goals, I just can't get myself to stay focused. Due to getting off birth control, I gained 20 pounds and struggled to stay consistent with losing those pounds. On top of that, I would also like to write more and read more, but I find myself scrolling on my phone for most of the day. I just can't understand the separation of my determination. Is it just sheer willpower and commitment, or how do I get myself to be more consistent with the mundane things that I want to achieve? I think that's such a wonderful question. First of all, did you hear what I said? I don't care what I do to my hair. Wasn't it just a piece of it? This one just look at me, look at me, look at me. I'm about to go with a skin fade. But did you see that? You're looking at two very different tasks in one single way. What you need to do all those things that you do so well and so easily is very different from what you need to do those things that don't have a concrete, you know, not only concrete start date, workload, and finish time, but it doesn't have, those things also have people who are holding you accountable on a daily basis. You don't get your assignment and it's a zero. So you have all of the, some call it pressure, but for me, those are motivating factors and they allow you to get from A to B to C. That's why I did so well in high school and got to college. It was like, because I didn't have to go to the class. If you get the syllabus in the book and you read it, did it go to the class before, took time. Now, I'm not recommending that as a way to go. I had to apologize to both of my parents wasting all their money like that. But it's just, so remember, it's not simply will and determination that allowed you to do that. You had a whole lot of external fences around you that contained you and made you, and you had a whole lot of things behind you, whoop, whooping you because they had expectations. Now these are very, very, very different than losing weight because you really ain't got to. You know what I mean? There's no start date. There's no, there's no. Now, if you go on a regimen, which might be good for you because apparently you do well in regimented circumstances, as do I. Maybe you join the gym. First of all, what you should go do is go to the doctor and find out hormone levels. I had a girlfriend once, couldn't lose weight, this, that, and the other thing, and they all found out she had some kind of something or other, and her hormones were off. You get your hormones together, make sure your heart's together, then start a program. But don't just say, I'm going to lose weight. Oh, get a chart. I love pen and paper. I love pen and paper because it makes everything solid for it, makes it simple. When things are amorphous and running around in the ozone without anywhere to settle, it's too hard to grab. You can't grasp it. You can't keep it. You gotta slow it down till it gets cooler and cooler, and it can land on some words, and that gives me the structure that I need. You might be able to want to try that. So, okay, go to the doctor on this date. Then we're gonna start this diet plan on this date, and don't make it too extreme, unless extreme is good for you. Some people, but no, well, always within the context of your doctor's recommendations. Let me say it that way. And you figure out what kind of eater. You know, I had to figure out because I got chunky, 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 chunky 3 times. Twice after getting babies, having baby. No, no, no. First time after a baby was no problem. Second baby, I went up to from 105 pounds to 160, and I heard my husband and my mother. They were bonding over my fat down in the kitchen. Oh, I heard them. And then I said I was cranky too because I was like in my ninth month. And she said, yeah. He said, yeah, Tony, she went to the doctor. Said she weighed 160 pounds. And I hollered downstairs, 158. Don't add weight to it. I already know I'm big as the side of a house. I'll get you a picture of that if I can find it right there. Big tummy. But anyway, then if it's not there, then I couldn't find the picture. Don't hold me accountable. And yes, my lamp is on the floor. I don't know what's going on here. And my picture's on the floor. I have a I have something that needs to be painted up there. So we were in here yesterday trying to, yeah, I don't know. So, and so you do good. If you do well with regimen, then write it down. And then I have to exercise my willpower at the grocery store, not at home. Now that may not be you, but that was me. You get it in the house, I'm gonna eat it. There was a time I could not go down to the cookie aisle at all. And then I could go down the cookie aisle. Realized where the Oreo double stuffed cookies were, and I could go up into like those vanilla wafers. And if I don't look, I wouldn't see them. So I could get to the vanilla wafers because my husband liked vanilla wafers. Yeah, sweet tooth. And I never got chubby. Ain't that a killer Della? But anyway, uh, and then one day, then I started to be able to walk down the aisle, and I would have to touch them. And then when I could walk down, I was like, and then one day I walked down and I picked one up, brought it to the stand, and said, "No, no," and put it back. That was a strong move. I was very proud of myself for that. Hello. And okay, okay, okay. Here, there you go. There's your screen time. You happy? You happy? You happy? You happy? You both got a ball. There you go. Get out. The sun's coming up, so things are getting weird. But anyway, you want to write and read more. Well, schedule times for that. You know, what I like to do is get a room with something comfortable where all my stuff is, and I'm gonna have a book. I'm in the middle of like 3 or 4 books most of the time. Now, not now because since Eric died, my reading has really taken a hit because I had a harder time concentrating. But I'm doing better. But it's make it a thing from 7 to 8. You gonna read a book? Write it down. And I write things down on a board. So when I go by him, I have to see him. She's persistent. I have to see him. Oh, 7 to 8. You know what I mean? I once had my phone and I wrapped it in something because I was scrolling too much. And I said, B, although I wrote the word down, read. Ooh, I could put that on my screen. You could put that on your screen. You don't have to use the B part, but I thought that was funny. I would like, so schedule times for that. Ooh, or if you like to write and read, I joined a, a, a couple of groups, one called Write On, uh, and, oh, no, Shut Up and Write. Join a group. But they said you all get together, have a little coffee, talk for 5 minutes, and then you shut up and write for an hour. And then you talk a little bit about what you wrote, and you leave again. You put the structure that you need in because you have things that you want to do, determination, but they don't have structure around them. You have to create that structure. So it's not about sheer willpower because I ain't got much of that at all. But I got technique. It's oh, reward yourself. You know what I mean? If you finish this book, reward yourself. Make sure you're reading something you really enjoy. And dear Sonali, I had 10 books for non-readers that that are easy to read. Not necessarily easy, but shorter books and they're interesting. So maybe some of those. Make sure you get something that you really like. Ooh, join a book club. That would require you to read. There are a whole lot of ways to force your bicycle back on the path instead of riding all ragged in the weeds. Spoken by a woman who's been ragged in the weeds for quite some time now. But anyway, that's my 10 cents worth on that. And because I have so many things to point to, I'm going to end this video now because uh, uh, it'll take me forever to figure it out. Y'all have a good day. I was gonna think of something else to say, but I wanted to think of a word of the day, but girlfriend's brain is ticking slowly.